for both, and so had Jack. Lily met his eyes as he drank the toast, grinning at her. Jack had been her companion and co-conspirator for months, helping her find her feet in the world after the death of her husband, his friend, and keeping her safe when she insisted on putting herself in danger. She didn't know what she was going to do without him. Glancing at his pocket watch, Ned Carroway groaned and hauled himself to his feet. "I must see about having horses put to our carriage," he said. "We shall need to leave within the half-hour if we're to arrive at your aunt's home before dark." "I shall come with you," Ophelia said, jumping up. "Mrs. Adler, Captain, we will see you outside?" Her gaze lingered pointedly on Jack for a moment before she took her husband's arm and allowed him to escort her from the room. "What did that mean?" Lily asked. "What?" Jack, who had been eyeing the Carroways' departure with his mouth twisted into a wry smile, turned back toward her, his brows rising. "That odd look she gave you." Lily frowned. There was nothing really wrong in their being left alone together. Only the strictest of moralists would raise an eyebrow at it, as Lily was nearly 3 years widowed, and Jack had been the childhood friend of her late husband. But there had been something almost guilty in the way Ophelia had looked at him. "If you don't know, then I am sure I do not," Jack said, his voice unconcerned as he turned his mug of ale in fidgety circles. It was almost as if he didn't want to meet her eyes, Lily thought, and she was debating whether to press the matter when he looked up and grinned at her. "Shall you get into trouble with me away? It does seem to follow you." Lily laughed. "I doubt it. I cannot imagine anything odd happening at the home of my aunt and Miss Clark, and I have been visiting them for enough years by this point." "Against the will of your father?" Jack suggested. Lily shrugged. "Most things I do are against the will of my father, as he made so clear when he was last in London. That has not stopped me before, and it will not stop me now." She smiled, leaning her elbows on the table and resting her chin on her clasped hands. "I wish you could come with me. You would like my aunt very much." "I remember her from your wedding," Jack said, clearing his throat and leaning back abruptly in his chair. "Miss Pierce seemed like exactly the sort of woman you shall grow up to be." "Why, am I not grown now?" Lily teased as she stood up. Jack, always a model of politeness, did the same. "Will you write me?" "Of course. I shall tell you how revered I am aboard ship, and how no one ever dares tell me I am wrong about anything. Perhaps it will influence you and Lady Carroway to treat me with more respect when I return." Lily smiled, holding out her hands to him. It was easier to be honest, now they were in private. "I shall miss your teasing, Jack. But I am glad you will be back with your ship. I know how you have missed it." "And I shall miss you, of course. Though being back at sea may seem dull in comparison to being in London when Mrs. Adler is in town." His own hands were large and warm as they closed around hers, his expression growing more serious as he met her eyes. "Is that all you will miss while we are both away?" "I dread to think what that might mean." Lily swatted him on the shoulder, pretending to be offended. "If you mean to imply that I have been seeking out trouble in London—" For a moment Jack's serious expression lingered, but before she had a chance to wonder at it, his teasing grin returned once more. He captured her hand and looped it through his arm, leading her from the dining room. "I think you would have been very bored in London if trouble had not managed to find you. I hope you will be able to bear the monotony in Hampshire." There were 2 vehicles waiting in front of the inn for them, the Carroways' elegant travelling chaise, as well as a smaller coach for their personal servants and the luggage. Lily's maid, Anna, was just climbing into the second coach when they stepped outside, Lily tugging her hat forward so she wouldn't have to squint against the bright cloudiness of the sky. "I am looking forward to some monotony," Lily admitted as they entered the coaching yard. 2 whole months of it, in fact, if you include my visit to Surrey. Monotony sounds lovely." Jack shook his head, smiling as he held out a hand to help her into the chaise. "I shall believe that when I see it." The rolling hills and water meadows of Hampshire were beautiful in spite of the dreary autumn day, but after more than 2 hours in the carriage, even Ophelia's cheerful appreciation was wearing thin. From exclaiming over the picturesque